gentlemen, welcome to the American Masterminds Podcast. I'm your host tonight, Topher Sheeler. I'm joined by my co-host, the one, the only, Mr. Rob Adams.
What up, what up?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special evening planned for you here tonight. I met this gentleman on our work trip down to a PSI event, and I've heard tons of stories about him, but meeting him on this trip and taking him down with our entire company, I learned a lot. I am very excited for Mr. Hunter Jones to be on with us here this evening. I think he's got a lot of potential. I was very excited of watching him interact with us and the entire group and everything that was going on there. Rob, if Hunter gets a motorcycle, which we're going to recommend on a higher level,
he's in.
I think he's in. Yeah. I think he's one of us.
Yeah. So welcome, Hunter.
Really appreciate that. But first, let's get a quick word from our sponsor, and we'll see you after that.
Hi, I'm Aiden at Enavive. Are you tired of worrying about what's in your water? Enavive has the solution. From our whole house water purification systems to our fast-filling reverse osmosis units, we can give your family clean, safe water at every tap. Text us now to schedule your consultation and experience water the way it should be, pure.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Hunter?
I would say Hunter is a creative individual with total freedom of time. I like to enjoy my time as I see it. I don't like answering to people, but I do enjoy spending time with people.
Terrible employee, great business owner.
Exactly. A fun boss. I'll tell you that much.
All right.
Outdoor. I love being in the outdoors. I love golfing, skiing, and spending time. And it's not only the outdoors that I love. I love doing it with people. So I do enjoy doing stuff by myself. But over the times as I do stuff with myself, I find myself lonely. So I really do enjoy being surrounded with good people. So I take pride in surrounding myself with good people and giving value back to the people I do surround myself with.
So you find a tremendous amount of value in relationships. Absolutely. Building those relationships. Are you a camper, hunter? Do you do all of those things? A hunter should be a hunter.
I'm a camper, not a hunter. Never shot anything and killed it. Besides maybe a bird with a gun when I was a child.
Which you regretted. Yeah. You still regret that to this day.
I don't know. It was quite fun. Sneaking out. Slingshots and BB guns.
Well, from what I understand, you went down to kind of a life-changing event, PSI. I've never been to PSI per se. I'm not sure what even PSI stands for. Do you know?
I should probably know that. I don't know what it stands for, but it would be like the BU. There's a lot of self-help. They all generate from the same family. So
if you're a listener, the PSI, the program, as I understand it, not being an attendant, we're going to talk about it, is self-improvement. It's self-awareness. It's educational. How does my brain work? What are some hacks that I can use in order to be more happy? Is that right?
Absolutely.
If I could give a shout out to PSI, one of the things, and I think you would actually really appreciate this, the way that they did it wasn't a rah-rah type of event. It was very much educational and kind of black and white. This is what's going on and how you do this.
Interesting. So there wasn't like a fire walk at the end or anything like that?
No, it wasn't anything like that.
I've done that. I've done that with an event. It was.
You went to the actual Tony Robbins one, right?
Yeah, I've done all of his events. I know he's updated and done some new ones, but there was a time that he had like 4 or 5 and I did all of them. I went deep diving into Tony Robbins, man. It was life-changing, and you kind of have to be in the right place to hear the message, because I'm still unpacking some of the stuff that I learned. And does PSI like that? Do you feel like you have like years of stuff that you're going to be working through?
Well, let's ask Hunter. How did you like PSI?
It was a wonderful experience. And after 2 days of being home and unpacking that luggage that you come home with, that you never really knew you had, but it's always been with you, you kind of just want to shout it from the rooftops and try to get everyone that you know to go. Because it was truly, wasn't necessarily a spiritual thing. It was really a mindset shift that you don't really think is there, but it's totally available to everybody, and you just don't want to see it. So what was your question?
How about this? What was the one thing that you really took away from PSI?
Before going to PSI, I was a believer in anything you think can become possible, but I still had doubts in that, just from childhood trauma, stuff like that. And coming home from that, that's one thing I say to myself every day, multiple times a day. So what I believe I can, whatever I can dream, whatever I believe, whatever I think, whatever I speak will become true eventually in this life. That's what I believe. That's something that I took from PSI. It was a wonderful 3-day event. And obviously that's a 1 hour of the 12-hour days we did 3 days in a row. There's so much information that was truly useful for anybody that could go, no matter what your level is of wealth or knowledge. But that's something that I live for every day. It's just, thinking what you believe and keeping consistent with it.
How do you do that? How do you keep consistent with it? Because a lot of times you go to these events, you kind of get amped. It's like getting religion. And you come home and you've got this new thing. You're almost like a missionary. You're like, bro, let me tell you something about that. Or I hear what you're saying, but have you thought of? You become kind of a little bit of like you just found religion. My question for you is how do you maintain that momentum? How do you keep the excitement going? Because this is I can't imagine you're 30. Are you 30?
27.
So in 27 years, you've developed neural pathways of thinking, and now you're shifting gears. You're putting on a totally new robe of thinking. How do you maintain it?
That was the number one concern that I came back with, and that was something, I guess maybe not a concern, but a goal to not let that overtake. Because that's truly how it feels when you come back, like you're finding something for the first time. And it's easy to let that drift away after a few days. You get back into the normal, wake up at this time, go to bed at
habitual
this time.
Thinking.
Exactly. Yeah. And simply staying up late at night, going over notes, studying, reviewing your day, reviewing and reflecting on decisions you made, the way you talk to people. And then after multiple days of doing that, you kind of just strive and put some goals in place. So for me, I have a screensaver. So that's something that helped me. I check my phone. I'm on my phone for business a lot of the time during the day. So every time I see my screensaver, I don't necessarily just open my phone and go to what I'm doing. I look at it with the intention of remember this for the next conversation or the next idea that pops into your brain. So that's something that has helped me not just let it come and go and get back into the old ways of thinking.
As you're going through this exercise, because that's what it is, you're increasing the strength of a muscle.
Yep.
And that's where our brains are really.
Yep. That's all it is.
Yeah. As you increase the strength of the muscle, do you feel like this has brought consciousness, awareness to flawed thinking?
Of course, absolutely. And I don't think anyone would disagree with that went to the event. Would you say so?
Not at all.
Yeah.
No.
If you have flawed thinking, the thing that has occurred to me is that you probably have surrounded yourself most of your life with people who think like you do. You're around a lot of people who are like you. That's what we do. We're pack animals. Yep. Now that you have this new awareness, do you think differently of your friends?
Not necessarily. I think differently of I wouldn't even say that. Let's see. How do I frame this?
And family. I'm talking. This is like
Sure.
your whole environment.
Absolutely. I don't necessarily look at it in a negative connotation of how I see them. I kind of it more so just brought up awareness of how the people I'm surrounding myself with think and react, and decide to talk to people. And unfortunately, I still love everyone that I'm around. but it's only given me the power to strive to be around greater people that think more like me. So that being said, there's a select few of people in my life that I really wanted them to go to this event, because I think anyone that goes to this event, I think it increases your odds of being happy within yourself, not necessarily materialistic things or anything like that, and confidence within yourself, etc. How you talk to people, giving confidence to other people, employees, friends, wife, mothers, anything like that.
Let me ask you this way. As you raise your frequency, sometimes, for example, I can say personally, when I've raised my frequency, I've gone to an event, I spent a month in Peru with a shaman, I've done something to really make me more healthy. My tolerance for unhealthy people becomes less. And I don't love them any less. I don't think of myself as better than them, but they almost don't like to be around me as much as I don't like to be around them. In this process of growing, are you prepared? Have you noticed this? Are you seeing this? Because I am lucky enough that I have been around on this earth long enough that I'm surrounding myself with brothers that boost me up, that build me up, that think this way. But when I started out, there was a whole group of people that I was just like, and I'm related to a lot of them.
Yeah. Honestly, yes.
Yeah, clearly.
Yes, he is, actually.
And you have to create that space in a graceful way. And so I'm just curious. It was my experience, and I don't want to cut anyone out of my life, but there's sometimes you create distance. You start
but is it actually like a cutting people out? I don't view it like that. Like we're on the roster and we're making cuts here. All right.
You're on the bubble.
But it does. I think it's more of an internal thing, because it's how these people interact with you, and your perception of interacting with them shifts, right? Like I've got people in my life that, direct family members that are absolute nightmares.
Energy vampires.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes. And suck the life right out of you.
Yeah.
And you
have this awareness.
You wake
now.
up, you gird the loins.
Yeah.
Right. And you say, okay, let's use some of these to handle these people. Use some of these mindset things that they're bringing in. And I know it's meant for me, but it's also how I handle these people out here too. That's the big difference for me. That's the big difference.
Yeah. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I'm not the only one, because I don't want to feel like I don't want to cut people out of my life. I love these people,
but you put the boundaries up.
There's more boundaries.
You put the boundaries up.
I think it's the quality time spent with these with these individuals. At least for me, I kind of looked at everyone for the most part in my life as an even playing field. I tried to spend not equal amount of time, but equal amount of quality time, and really make sure I'm not spreading myself thin to one person and heavy on another. Versus now, it's you like you said, you hit it right on the head. You don't want to distance yourself because you'll love them forever, but it's not someone that you're going to take into the fire with you at the same time.
Right.
It doesn't have to be equal.
No.
It doesn't have to be equal. That's the big thing. And you do want to weigh the scales to the people that are putting in, that are thinking the same way, trying to do the same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just limit the time from the vampires.
Yeah. Yep. I feel like I've come to the idea since I've been doing my journey that there's like lunchtime friends. I can hang out and we can do lunch. Yep. There's friends that I could ride across the country with on my motorcycle. Yep. Not the same group.
Not even close to the same group. Just so we're clear.
Right. And so I'm starting to kind of create these levels of friendship, and none of them are bad. Everybody gets that opportunity, but you only get this much of my energy.
Well, you only have so much energy to give.
Right.
Yep. Don't waste it.
There is only so many people that you call at 3 a.m. It just is a thing.
Yeah, it's a list.
It's a list.
So the one thing I've enjoyed, may I shift gears? You were going to say something.
I was going to say, how long's your list?
That list, 5.
Of the 3 a.m.ers?
4.
That's right.
5. I'm trying to think. Yeah, it's 5.
Nice. I assume I'm on the list. I knuckle bump because
Well,
I'm making the assumption.
depends on the day.
Yeah, that's
Of
true.
course.
Of course. The one-
Well, and ironically, just to kind of lead this in here, what my impression, Hunter was a mythological creature to me. You know, Aiden, obviously the connection here. Heard a ton about you for 2-3 months. Well, this is September.
Yeah.
But my first time actually meeting you was heading down there.
Yep.
And you were in a very precarious situation. We're riding in a bus full of your
Strangers.
wife's freaking like employees, right? Or however you want to view that.
Yeah.
And there's cat fights and stuff going on and everything else. And you were a trooper through it. And what I walked away from, point to him, is in certain circles, I think we would really appreciate you. And seeing you show up for all of that was actually kind of cool to watch.
You own a motorcycle?
I do not.
Let's work on that.
There we go.
That's kind of our
The dealers
it's kind of our thing.
hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But he really did. He struck me as somebody like, if you did have a bike, I would absolutely invite you out, and I think you'd fit in with our crew really well.
Something I have really appreciated about doing these different events is that it creates an awareness around intention. I didn't know that you could live a life of intention. You could live an intentional life. Was this your experience at PSI?
Absolutely.
So
It's something that I carry every day.
Yeah.
Wake up with intention, go to bed with intention, make decisions with intention, speak to people with intention.
Yeah. I'm here for a reason, and here it is.
Yep.
I'm showing up, and this is what we're about to do, and this is my intention. And we do that at the beginning of the podcast. We talk about, Topher said, okay, this is what we're about. And intention is the secret to creating fulfillment in your life and direction. If you could say that your intention has shifted from just traveling through life, reacting to life, now living an intentional life, can you tell me a little bit about how that's changed you?
It's changed in a lot of different ways. Within business, it's changed immensely. Not only just the business. So I have a business partner. Within our relationship, it has only been however long, a month or so now.
Yeah.
That has dealing or focusing on an intention directly with him within our conversations and decisions and stuff like that has only increased our brotherhood, our business, etc., our camaraderie within the office and stuff like that, with our employees as well. That's been one focus. You know, I spend 8 hours or so a day with that individual, 8 hours sleeping and 8 hours with my fiance. So that third of my day has really increased in many ways: happiness, fulfillment, monetarily, time, all sorts of different things in that nature. Yeah,
That's a great answer. Have you set goals then around your intentions?
absolutely.
Can you tell us what your biggest goal is
This year, our biggest goal
on the business?
for the business is buying a shop and increasing our productivity to multiple employees. Spend some of our cash on just growing and really putting ourselves out there instead of being comfortable with where we're at with the good money we're making, etc.
That's a great goal.
Yeah.
I know a guy. If you need some commercial space, you let me know. I couldn't pass it up.
Never miss.
Yeah, I couldn't pass it up.
Hold on. I have something for this.
Yeah, delete.
Wait.
Hold on.
There it is. Every time.
There it is. What would be, is there a goal that you've set since PSI on a personal level that you'd like to share?
Sure. Not only my goal, but my fiance's goal is communication. So we spend a lot of time debriefing each other, talking about our days, talking with intention about subjects that come up or issues or celebrations. So that's something that, I mean, even after day one, that was one of our first goals, was speaking to each other with intention and clarity. So what time would we get back? Maybe 10 p.m. at night.
Yeah.
We would end up staying. We had to be up. So we got back at 10 p.m. at the Airbnb. We'd have to be up around 6:37. Be to the hotel at 8. We'd end up staying up till 1 a.m. just talking to each other, not only about what we've learned, but something that how could we apply it to our relationship, to our relationship within our family, our friendships, and my business. And so that's something that I would say has really impacted my life in a very positive way since going to PSI. It's been amazing.
I love that.
Yeah.
My the love of my life and I, we went to an event and we had that kind of a aha moment, and it really, she's my third wife, and so
final.
And final. Yeah, I'm done. But I say that because we have done this work. Like, I can't tell you how important these moments are, and I would like to encourage you, young man, to keep at it. Don't become passive in this communication with your partner, because that really creates power. Because I can do a lot on my own, but when Annie believes in me, I can do anything.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I can accomplish some crazy cool stuff. And I'll, because of this communication, I go out and I'm ready to slay dragons for her. I'm ready to go. Like, I'll work harder, longer, more focused, because I know she believes that I can.
Yep.
And it's through this communication. We just started something. Can I share something with you guys?
Yeah, please.
I have a shaman, and she has us doing this thing when I'm coming home.
The one and only Kate Strong. Shout out.
Kate Strong, what up, girl? Anyway, Kate has us, when I'm coming home from work, I text Annie a number from 1 to 100, and it's the number means how much gas I have in my tank.
Oh. Hunter, listen,
Incredible.
If there's one thing that you can gain from like all of this, stick around the guys that are in the same position. We need this conversation more than anybody. And there is stuff specifically on motorcycle rides that happens, and he brings in something, Jared will bring in something. There's like a powwow of, okay, hey, I've tried this play.
Yeah.
All right, work on this one. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Do not say that.
Yeah, that hack didn't work. This works.
Back it up. Back it up.
So I send Annie a number, and we've agreed that if on my gas tank, and the number means it's not how much I love her, it's not how how committed I am to the relationship, it's just how much energy I've got left. Because I might have had an ass kicking day and I'm wiped out. Yep. So I'll text her, and if she knows if it's 30%, it usually really means, because I'm prideful, probably 10 or 5%. And so she knows when I come home that she's going to give me the space I need for about an hour to, whatever. Take a nap, go for a walk, read a book, scroll on my phone. I get 1 hour just to leave me alone. Because what happens is I would get home and she would be like, hey, the thing and the deal and the thing. And I would be like, get away from me. And I don't mean it towards her. It has nothing to do with her, right? And then she would think that I was withdrawing, and she's a withdrawer. So she would withdraw, and we would withdraw and withdraw and withdraw, and we get further and further apart.
But I like that.
If I can tell her 30%,
I love it.
But then the commitment is I have to show up. I get 1 hour, then I have to show up. I've got to get back in the ring, right?
Huh.
And then the thing is she'll text me back the number, and our goal is to keep it at about 100%. So if I'm at 20%, please be at 80%, right? But if she texts me that she's a lower number, then there's something weird that happens in me because of how we men are made. Well, all right, I'll click it up. I'll show up at 80%.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I got you, girl. I'll do what I got to do. Let's do a bath. What do you need? You know what I mean? I give her the attention and love that she needs to feel safe and supported. And I've gone home and I'm like dragging ass, and she'll be dragging ass, and she'll tell me that, and I'll improve my number before I get home.
Yeah.
I feel like you could create street rules for this. This is really good, right? Like, okay, we're both at 20.
Yeah.
That means we're not talking TV goes on.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
We're
just going to order some Olive Garden.
We're fine.
Yeah.
We need some breadsticks and some salad up in here.
And that's it.
Yeah. Damn, that's good.
And so you're not creating. What's that?
Impressive.
Thank you. Yeah. Third wife.
I'm telling you, dude, this is where the magic actually happens, right?
It's true.
Collectively, individually, we can't figure out shit.
Yeah.
No.
We're on our own.
We're on our own. But collectively, we might get a thing or two.
Yeah. It's really been, can you hear that?
That's you.
Nope, I'm off.
That's me. And it's not anymore.
So the thing that's good about that is it's created a space that we can understand one another, give each other the space, and also give us each other the opportunity to support each other.
I like that. I like that a lot.
And it's super basic. Like it's just, I'm texting you, I swear to God, 50. That's it. That's the send. There's no explanation needed. We've got the ground rules set. And she gives me the space I need. We have a 6-year-old. She'll pull the 6-year-old aside and like keep her busy. But after that hour, man, it's time to play My Little Pony or whatever it is I'm going to do tonight. And it's been amazing. It's been a game changer.
So how do you look at the sacrifice when, you know, you do say I'm at a 20 and she says, well, I'm at a 30. Well, you got to bump yourself up 50 points. How do you internally look at that without drawing resentment over the years?
Great question. Great question.
Oh.
So habitually, the problem is we slide into the habits of you're always in a bad mood. I'm always trying to take care of you.
Yep.
You're always trying to take care of me. And that never works.
Absolutely.
I can't do anything about how you feel, Hunter.
Yep.
There's in fact, knowing that is powerful. You're in charge of Hunter. I'm in charge of Rob. If I tell you where I'm at and you can meet me there, that's fucking great. But if you can't, that's fucking great. At least you know I'm not being rude at you.
Yep.
And so it's not really for her to fill the gap. We want to be at 100, but the gap doesn't need to be filled.
Sure.
It just needs to be communicated clearly.
Absolutely.
And so that's the thing. If you have someone who, the thing I like about this is someone will habitually be in a bad mood. This husband is always trying to make his wife happy. This wife is always trying to make her husband happy. This sets a precedence where I was like, bro, you've been at 20 for 3 months. Like, what can we do differently?
Yeah.
And it gives you the language to communicate to one another. Also, when I'm at 20% again, I'm like, God damn, how did that happen? Like, what am I doing wrong during the day that I need to be at this level? It could be a stressful time. I don't know about your business. My business has seasons of like very stressful periods. And sometimes that's just how it goes. I come home and I'm just depleted. And I need that space, but it can't be her picking me up all the time. It's impossible. In fact, the best agreement I have with her is that she's in charge of her happiness and I'm in charge of my happiness. Her happiness is really none of my business. I can do my very best to like serve her and to love her and to make her feel safe. That's my job as the man. And her job is to nurture and love and make me feel connected and important. Like that's her job. And if I leave her alone, she leaves me alone, and we come together as whole people. She's leaving for Costa Rica on Sunday for a week to be with some of her girlfriends. Talk about women shit down there. I have no idea what's going to happen in Costa Rica.
Who cares?
Yeah.
I don't want to know.
No one does.
Yeah, thank you. You ladies have a good time. But I know that when she goes and she does this, she comes back a whole person. Like my motorcycle. Yeah. I'm going on a ride on Saturday and she's totally cool with it. Even though she's leaving on Sunday, she's like, go. Because she knows when I come back, I'm going to be a better Rob.
Yeah.
So you got to give each other that space. But you're also not responsible. The minute you start thinking you're responsible for your girl's happiness is the minute she will disrespect you. Not disrespect. It's almost like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not disrespect. It's like resent. Your partner will resent the man that's working hard to make her anything. Women don't want to be made to do anything. Just like you. I don't want to be made to do anything. Don't try to make me whatever.
Sure. On
the opposite side of that coin, I also believe that she can't make me mad. But I get to choose. You guys feel that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. but
and maybe,
she does some nonsense.
Yeah, and maybe you believe that, but you don't always act on that.
Yeah. And oftentimes when I think this way, if I can put it into that context, I feel like it's not personal anymore. I don't think she's gone out of her way to try to piss me off. In fact, she probably didn't think about me at all. It's her process. You know what I mean? Taking myself out of the equation.
You know what we put in kind of on the same lines of putting ground rules in. My new thing is, because I take Nora for a walk. When I go home, okay, let me have the walk with Nora. And then and if you can just hold it off by the time I come back, I'm back up, ready to go.
Yeah.
The other thing that we just instilled, and I don't know if this is a PSI bleed off or anything, but if I say I'm tired, okay, I know that everybody else says that. If it comes from this mouth,
you're for real tired.
that's not a joke.
Yeah.
If I tell you I'm tired, that's basically me breaking down and sitting in the corner,
Yeah.
sucking my thumb.
Yeah.
Please, if I say that, just back it up.
Believe me.
We try this tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Simple rules of
Give me
engagement.
some grace. Yeah. It goes into, I love this. I don't know if PSI talked about the covert contracts.
I don't think we did the covert contracts.
So what you're talking about, and I'm just share it with you really quickly. The covert contract is a good example. My wife hates it when I just leave my dishes in the sink. Hates it. Makes her crazy.
I hate it.
Yeah. She's just like, put the dishes in the dishwasher. But in my perspective, I think I can't load the dishwasher like she does. Every time I do it, she moves all of my shit around. And so I'm like, I'm causing her more work because she can just put it in there the way she wants. It has nothing to do with making her mad. In fact, I'm trying to be nice about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Perspective.
But her belief is, if you really loved me, you would not put your dishes in the sink. And my belief is, I'm doing you a favor because I really love you. It's a covert contract. Just her saying it, telling me, hey, dude, this really bugs the shit out of me. Don't do that. Okay. I didn't know. That's, I think, what happens in relationships. People get in there and it just like dissolves the foundation, all of these little covert contracts that we have with one another. And it starts out with, if you really loved me, then you would know.
Oh, God.
Oh, man. So we talked about some goals. We talked about friends. My question for you after PSI is the secret to, in my perspective, they talk about an airplane taking off in LA and landing. And if it doesn't correct, if it's off by 2 degrees, it's the difference between landing in New York and landing in Florida.
Sure.
Have you heard this before?
Yeah.
So it's this continual course correction along the way.
Yep.
Course correction to me looks like small, consistent activities every day. You talked about your screensaver as one of them.
Yep.
What are some of the other things you've implemented in your life to create course correction?
Probably the largest one is reviewing notes through PSI and just staying consistent with that, and then setting goals. So like I have a goal this year to read a book a month,
Or listen to one.
or listen to a book. I listen to probably 8 or 10 hours a day of content, whatever that may be.
What a great opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's something I typically waste those hours doing, listening to podcasts that aren't necessarily anything other than entertainment.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Hey, there's stuff to be learned on there. Comment. Don't you go after Joe like that.
Oh, sorry, Joe. I know you're a big fan of our podcast.
Yeah. Huge fan. Number one.
And then taking the time out of your day to really look back on who you were today and what could have been better, what could have been different, what could have been worse.
I'm hearing something. Can I give some feedback on here?
Sure.
What's your morning routine like?
Wake up, shower, eat breakfast, go to work.
I want to highlight something for you
Let's hear
here,
it.
okay? If you're going back in the past, which is at the end of the day, and ruminating on what happened, you didn't set the attention and gird the loins going into it.
There you go. Good point.
Okay.
Very good
The
point.
morning routine, in my opinion, is way more important than the evening routine.
I would agree.
So if you're giving all your attention to the back end and reviewing, living in the past, right? Stuff you've already done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Switch that energy to the morning and set your intention for the day.
It's a good idea.
Now, there's that book, The Gap and the Gain. I've talked about it quite a bit on this podcast. Yeah. Have you read that book, The Gap and the Gain?
Never.
Write that shit
one down.
This is one you need to listen to. And it talks about the end of the day activity and being in the gap, which is when you start shooting all over yourself. I should have called Topher. I should have, could have, would have. Or being in the gain. What did I win today? What were my wins? What my success was, I really connected with Topher, or I really had a great conversation with my client, or I really connected with the love of my life. Those are the wins. As you're falling asleep, if you're focusing on the wins in your you're ruminating. That's the word you use.
Ruminating. Yeah.
If you're ruminating, but you're ruminating on the wins, then you're setting yourself up for more wins.
Absolutely.
And so it really is a momentum thing. Check out that book. It's a good one. Bob Proctor.
I would love to.
We've done the golden nuggets. We've done the manifestation blueprint, all that stuff. There really is more power to setting yourself in the morning than at night. Like my new thing now at night, we'll give this under the Rob review here, is like my championship for the day is my walk with Nora.
Oh, really?
100%.
That's cool.
100%. If I make it through that, like it's no mental work, nothing. By the time I get there, I have spent everything I have.
Yeah.
My reward for the day is my walk with Nora.
Man, that's beautiful. I love that you're doing that. A lot of guys check out and watch TV or get online or whatever. I'm glad that you're taking that checkout time and making it quality time.
Yeah.
That's powerful. Like it's going to create traditions and habits around your daughter that she'll never forget.
Speaking of that, she's already fit into it.
Yeah.
She is,
when you get home,
she's like, she knows the program. She's excited.
Let's go.
But then if you try to put her down without taking her for a walk, dude, she's like,
not having it.
Wait a minute. Hold on. We're missing something here.
That's awesome.
She's jumped right in line with the dogs. Sorry, Hunter, continue.
That's good stuff. Well, I think the morning routine is power. It is the power. There's you know what we should do? We should have a book list connected with our podcast of all of. Do we have something like that?
We do. Yeah.
Oh man, this guy's on his game.
He's always there.
Yeah, because we talk about books a lot. I'm a huge proponent, as Topher is, in learning, and I'm reading a book right now called Us.
Huh?
It's called Us. The name of the book. Holy cow!
Love it. What's it about?
It's relationship stuff. It's about the most important thing that you can be good at.
Do you believe that relationships are the most important thing you can be good at?
Yeah, but there's like, if you're not healthy, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
If you don't have good relationships, it doesn't matter. If I'm doing shitty at home, it doesn't matter how good I'm doing at work. It doesn't matter. I'm not working for any other reason. If I didn't have home, I'd be in the Bahamas selling puka necklaces on a beach. You know what I mean?
I firmly believe that, actually.
It wasn't easy to make. I didn't have to make that up. That was like something I was considered.
It's plan B.
Yeah. Puka necklaces.
Hold on.
Yeah. One of those big hats. You know what I mean?
You already have one.
Have them on my arm. I've got it figured out. But it won't happen because I love my family. And so those are the three things. It's those relationships, then work, and then, of course, your health. Those are the three big things if you manage. And so in that regard, the small things, I would like to encourage you when you're going over your notes, take that note and then write journal about it. Like go deeper on it, because really you're getting their presentation of it. But how does it apply to Hunter?
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a big deal. How does it apply to, what's your girl, Aiden?
Aiden.
How does it apply to you and Aiden, or you and your brother in the business? Like, you can really start deep diving into those things rather than just reviewing it. Like, okay, there's a principle here. How does it apply? Yep. And start writing your own lessons. My shaman, again, has me writing in these 4 different specific, what is it called? They're not characters. I'll think of the word. There's 4 different characters that I write to myself into my journal now. Have I told you about this yet?
You have not.
Can you tell us the 4 characters?
Yeah. The first character is the king.
Okay.
The king is royal. He's noble. He is wise. He is powerful. He makes decisions and just boom. He's the king. He's also noble. He's charitable. He's all of the things you would consider a good king. The second archetype, that's what they are, the 4 archetypes. The second archetype that I have is the wizard. The wizard is clever. He can solve problems. He can change things just like that. Magic. He's magic. He can pivot.
Make decisions.
But he can make it immediately. It's not like it's like magic. He just made that happen. He's clever. I have the warrior. The warrior's indomitable. Can't be stopped. Don't fuck with that guy. He's charging the mountain. He is a warrior. You know what I mean? He has a sound. The king has a sound. The wizard has a sound. And then the lover. The lover loves life. Loves his wife. Loves his job. Loves his motorcycle. Happy with it. Loves it. He's He's passionate about his life. Life is good. So I'll journal. I do my gratitudes for 5 minutes. Of course, I am thankful for to raise my frequency. And then I'll think to myself, what do I need today? Because when you're sitting there in the morning, you can kind of be like, oh man, I don't feel like charging that hill.
We got to make these 15 phone calls here,
Yeah.
and I don't want to talk to any of these people. Yeah.
Yeah. Or I've got some really hard decisions I need to make right now, or I'm stuck in a spot. How do I get out of this? Or man, I'm bummed. I'm not feeling it. I don't want to be a part of this. I just want to check out. That's when I need the lover to show up. So I'll write myself a letter from these guys. And in so doing, from the archetype, I believe that everything I need is within me now. I have all of the wisdom inside of me. I could give you great advice, Topher. I'm terrible at following my own advice.
Yeah.
You feel that?
Yeah.
And so if I write this letter to myself with the archetype, I'm writing myself these letters, and I'm not kidding, like some real solid wisdom has come off of these 4 characters that I'm writing myself. And a lot of it comes from the principles I've learned at things like PSI. Like, you remember, this is the thing, you committed to it, you were passionate about it, this is what you really wanted. And in the letter, I give myself the advice I need to just kill it that day.
Huh. You know what's very interesting, to circle this back to Hunter, what we did at PSI, is the Mind Palace. What he's talking about is, I always say what's that movie, Inside Out?
Oh, yeah.
Where they have the different
Characters.
Like I told you this, and I'd say 40 of them in there.
Yeah.
That was the part that they were missing in the Mind Palace exercise, is my assistants. These are your assistants.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they all look like me,
Yeah.
but they're
Or
all
whatever you want.
Yeah, but they're the warrior, he's just like, looks like He-Man, but has this face, and the king, he looks like, the Burger King, except he's got this face, but
No, that is a thing. Like I have my assistants for this. You're taking it one step further to write it into the journal.
yeah. And I invoke them. And in so doing, like, I know their color, what color the lover is, what color the king is. I know the sound they would make that the warrior makes. I know his sound. I know where I feel the warrior. When I'm being the warrior, there's a part of my body where I feel that.
Yeah.
In my chest, you know what I mean? Like my heart's pumping. Or the king or the wizard, I feel at the top of my head. He's all cerebral. He's all up in my mind. Like the wizard is just like, he's clever. You know what I mean?
Wizard's on top of the head?
Yeah.
Oh.
Interesting.
So
where did you decide, or how did you decide the sound, the color, who they are, where they live?
it's one of the things I took from Tony Robbins. It's one of his little clues. And as I'm going through my notes, like you're doing, I came across this the other day, and this is like, it's been 10 years ago since I did my first PSI event, if you will. And I read that, and I'm like, oh yeah, that was cool. That was a thing. I'm going to try that on again. And so like the notes don't get old, because there's things right now that may mean something to you that in 10 years, it'll be something totally like, you're like, holy crap, I missed that point because now you're a father, or you've lost a parent or something. You know what I mean? Like your perspective is about to change.
Yeah.
That's powerful stuff.
What was something you, Topher, what's something that you take from PSI that you incorporated in your day-to-day life?
New information. The thing for me for PSI, okay, this is a journey that I've been on since I was about 15 years old. Okay. And then the masterminds and this guy and what we do on a daily basis, we talk about this stuff every time we're together. So PSI for me was truly more of a recap, but it does bring it back to the forefront, if you know what I'm saying. The one that I took away because we spent so much time with it, there was some inner child work, I guess is what you'd call it, that stuck a little bit to me. Sure. But the black and red game, have you ever done anything with the black and red game? You've ever come across that?
I only know
Maybe
that we
after.
don't talk about the black and red game.
That's it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The first rule of the Fight Club is
We don't talk about it.
Yeah.
But it was the Mind Palace. I had gotten away from the Mind Palace a little bit.
Yep.
And so like re-sparking that, and I've spent some work in my Mind Palace, and I don't know, sometimes stuff just ebbs and flows, right? And I had lost the Mind Palace. And so when we were doing that, I was like, oh crap, got to go back to that. You know, and he added
powerful.
he added a couple of cool features like the infirmary. I didn't have an infirmary, I guess. I also don't believe that I'm sick though, ever. But this was interesting with all of that is in my mind palace, there's always been my assistants, which is what you're talking about, the king, the wizard, like the different hats, right? And yeah, I've really deployed that, and I down to the point, like, you know, when he was talking about how you go into the mind palace.
Yep.
Mine was stuck at the old place. Like your entry, like it was a physical thing. You think about, okay, I'm gonna go in here, go down this thing. So I had to put the new mind palace into the new place. It has a new entrance and everything, and that's what was my biggest one that came away from that. What was yours?
We talked about intention and stuff like that, but I do love that. I spend every night going to bed, walking through the woods. I see the same bush every single time. I see my brick exterior with a beautiful moss roof, and you know, it's a tiny little 5x5 hut, and you walk in it, and it's infinite. It's an infinite house to me. With
What do you do in the house? I'm not familiar with the mind palace.
okay, so for me, I'll sit in there. Something that's easy for me. I lose stuff a lot. Like I'll lose my wallet. I have a bad tendency of putting it in different spots every day.
It's a game.
Absolutely.
Yes. Hide and seek.
Yep. So something
I do it with my keys
and my keys
and my phone.
So that was
They're
my,
never together.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's something I do even on a hourly basis, or when I go to leave in the morning, or when I get back.
Have you seen my keys?
I'll go back in there and I'll talk to my assistant Jarvis. That's my assistant's name. And I'll say, where did I place those keys? And we'll go back and we'll talk to each other, and we'll step by step walk through the process of getting back home, where I put them and what I did, and then I'll find them. So it's something like that. So there's, or like you said, a medical attendant in there to walk you through getting sick or getting better.
It was
stuff.
kind of cool. So I've used this several times, right? But he brought you down, and he really did a good job. The Chuck at PSI really painted a cool picture of how you want to put this all together. And then they did so he put you got to build an infirmary, and you need a battle station. You need the command center chair, and then you need the video screen up there so that you can see your thoughts coming in and out and change them. And then there was a different room where like the infinity room, where you can walk in here and anything that you want, you can go in there. And then you've got your assistants that can help you find stuff. You can ask them things. It was tying into the subconscious.
Yep.
And knowing stuff.
I think that was the number one takeaway, was your subconscious is there for you to access if you really can focus and be present in that moment, and just learn slowly through repetition of going through what your subconscious is actively doing throughout the day.
This wasn't what we talked about at PSI, but like baseball, the Mind Palace, they use different words for it, but it was a huge portion of our mental exercise. And we would, you'd go in, and that's why I've said like the entrance to my Mind Palace, it's got to be very specific. You have to know where it is, because that's how you train going in there. But that's where all the world problems are solved. And you can build your tools and whatever you need, or whatever assistance, whether it's the king, the wizard, the warrior, the lover, all those guys. You can have all the hats up there. They're all represented, and you can call on them at any time.
I do love these 4 archetypes. That will be something that I'll definitely
spend some time with. Do it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'd love your feedback on that. It's been really powerful for me, because I do believe you have the wisdom, you have the knowledge, you have all the tools. It just is, are you gonna take advantage of that? And
I think journaling, like you do, journaling through and writing letters to yourself as you, Rob, from King Rob, super powerful.
Yeah.
Do you ever go back on those letters, or your journal that you wrote days ago, months ago?
I've been journaling since I was 12.
He's
Very
an
cool.
avid journaler,
Yeah.
like volumes.
I love that. It's something.
Some of it's hard to read, because I read it and I think that young man his favorite words were, "I know that." I didn't have room. I didn't have room to grow. Now that I'm older, I realize I don't know anything. Like
Sure.
I can learn from anyone. It doesn't matter if they're in their 20s or in their 80s. There's wisdom, like you were saying, together we create that. But I read some of them and I'm just like, that kid was, what a jackass that guy was right there. In fact, more often than not, I'm like, that guy was prideful.
It's cool seeing the journey, though.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it really is. And I have grown a lot, and it is a good way to gauge it because it's difficult for me to see, I think for us to see our progress in life, because we're in the woods. You know what I mean?
The proof is in the pudding right here on your page from 20 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nuts. I love to journal. I can talk about journaling all day, but I think it's a big deal.
It's something I love doing, but have a hard time doing. And it's something I know is beneficial no matter who or what intention you have going into it. I think just the habit of journaling is just super powerful.
Even if you just journal your gratitudes, if I only do my 5 minutes, that's enough.
Yeah.
I am thankful for my body. I'm thankful for my wife. I'm thankful for my daughters. I'm thankful for. When I get done writing that down for 5 minutes, I'm thankful. Yeah. It's easy math.
I have to very structure my journaling. I'm not like you're very good at rambling. I mean that in a good way. Like you can just keep going.
Yeah.
Mine has to be very, very structured. Whether it's gratitudes, whatever it is, it has to be structured.
Yeah, it takes practice, but if you're just sitting down to write, like I had cereal for breakfast, it is hard to journal.
Sure. Well, there's no intention there.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
What are you trying to get out of knowing you ate cereal on July 2nd, 2018?
Yeah, who cares? Yeah. Also, I've been putting together my playlist for this the movie they're going to make about me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who's your character?
Who's going to play me?
Yeah.
I'm thinking either who's the dude that played Aquaman?
Momoa.
Jason
You think
Momoa.
you think you got the complexion for that?
Well, it's the hair. It's the locks.
Right.
the
Of
veils.
course. Yeah.
The skin complexion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I don't know.
Tom Selleck is playing Hunter for sure.
That's right. With the stash. Well, listen, as we're wrapping this up, and I appreciate your time, Hunter, I'm curious. I think it would be cool to schedule out 6 months from now another podcast where we can talk about how you have, because right now you're kind of in the convert stage of your journey. Like you've been given this nugget and you're just really excited about it. And
I call it the euphoria stage.
the euphoria stage.
Yep.
And you see these converts to religion, they just want to tell everybody about their, like, did you know? And yeah, we knew, but you're excited because it's new thinking for you. What I would like to know is in 6 months, what has stuck with you? Have you done that? Have you been doing the course corrections for 6 months? And we don't have to do it if you don't feel like
Would
it.
love to.
But I think that Topher and I, we've done some exercises where we've come back and visited a year later, and it's astounding the results.
I will share that one with you. Okay. Like the letter that I wrote last year and forgot about it and everything, that's part of the exercise. And then you open it a year later. Like I said, we've done some things. If you want to check it out, the golden nuggets, they're listed in the podcast episodes. And we do the manifestation blueprint. We do the golden nuggets of gratitude, how to do the morning routine. Is all something that we've been working on for a long time.
Yeah, and Topher's story is miraculous. It really is. But I have to say, I've had those miracles in my life. It's just testing these principles that you've learned. That's like, that sounds legit. But then doing it, shifting to over 20 years of habitual thinking and making the difference is really the power.
Yeah, absolutely. I love challenges, so I'm going to have each of you challenge me before we leave here today that I can focus on and work on. Something that you think is important in your life that has worked for you that I can explore in mine.
Ooh. Easy. I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Mine would be to challenge you to write down for 5 minutes. I am thankful for
Number one.
For 5 minutes.
In the morning.
Every morning.
Every morning.
And if it's the same stuff that you're writing down, Hunter, good. You should be thankful for her. You should be thankful for your healthy body. You should be. But when you start to realize that you've written it down again and again and again, you start to understand what your why is. I'm sure they talked about your why at PSI a lot. And it's easy to be like, what is it? What is my why? Well, I'm writing it down every day. Your why becomes crystal fucking clear.
I'm still looking for it, to be honest. That
Yeah.
was one thing that
It's just, this is a subtle hack to find your why, because you will continually write what you're thankful for. And what you're thankful for is why you get up early, why you stay up late, what you're doing. And so write that down. I know my why crystal clear because I write it so much. I know why I'm here. Can you imagine how much that would empower your life if you knew that? Like beyond a shadow of a doubt. It's very, as a man, it's powerful to know that. It's paramount to know that. If you don't know what your why is, you have no North Star. You will drift through life being blown by the winds of trouble or bonuses or excitement, love, lust. All these things blow you around. But if you lose track of your why, but if you know your why, I'm not always going towards it, but there it is. I'm going towards it. I'm going to make it happen. It's powerful. And it only happens through writing down every day for 5 minutes. In my perspective, I am thankful for. Get back to
You be
work.
thankful or grateful?
I am thankful. I am grateful. Most of the time, thankful.
Thankful?
Yeah.
You have to write the sentence out.
I am.
I have this experiment going with the high school boys.
Oh, yeah?
100%. They have me 10 I am thankful or I'm grateful for, which also is alarming how many of them don't know how to spell grateful. Neither here nor there.
Grateful.
Grateful, yeah. Anyway, I make them do 10 gratitudes before they are allowed into practice. You should see it because they're I call them the feral young boys, right?
Mhm.
When they show up, you can see them walking in where they're on their face. There's no masking anything. They know exactly where they're at. I make them do this. They're a whole new person for the rest of practice. It's changed everything from a psychological standpoint.
It's amazing.
What
This
age
is
what age group?
high school. These are high school boys. They're truly the feral ones.
The wild boys.
The wild boys. And they don't know that you play these mind tricks on them. They have no idea what's going on. But I'm not, shit you not, if you were to sit up here with a camera, watch them walk in, I make them do their gratitudes, and then we're going to go hit whole different ballgame.
Different person.
Yeah.
That's cool. I love that. Thanks for
But
doing
that's
Yeah,
my
thank you.
number one, too, is do the gratitudes, and it has to be in the morning.
Nope. He already said it.
I know. That's my number one, though.
No.
I'm putting it there for emphasis, Hunter.
Okay, but I need your number two. I need your
Real
number two.
important.
Then.
that.
Number two.
30 seconds. When you're talking to your significant other, okay, and it's a contentious conversation, your point, both for your mind and hers, wait 30 seconds.
Before you speak?
Before you speak.
Oh, man.
You're
Some solid advice.
Yep.
I've got a fast. I'll fuck up a relationship right now. Watch this.
5 seconds.
Hold my beer. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to get it done. That's a good one. I'm going to
truly the 30 seconds, which you don't tell yourself 30 seconds, it ends up being like 10 or 15.
It seems a long time.
But
so.
that little gap in there can make the entire world of difference.
Totally.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, my friends, I'm grateful, Hunter, for you coming and sharing your experience at PSI. It's amazing. I'm excited for the follow-up to see
Me too.
how you've changed as a man, because if we're not getting better, we're dying, my belief.
Quickly.
And yeah, it doesn't take long. And you see people who are walking around, they just haven't found their coffins yet. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Don't be that guy.
Nope.
And so this is a step in the right direction. And I want to commend you, Hunter Jones, for being young and willing to hear this message. I waited a long time before I started on my journey, traveling in unconsciousness my whole life, being blown about in the ocean of emotion. And the fact is that once you find intention and you find purpose, you find why, you then actually become a man. Up until then, you're a boy playing at being a man. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, keep it up.
I look forward to it. 6 months. Why not 3?
Hunter, I've got other plans for you. Don't worry about that
Mhm.
timeline, buddy.
Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you being a part of the podcast. If you've liked what we've talked about, please make a comment. It goes a long ways to share this with your friends and family. And we're on all of the different areas you can find a podcast. Tune in, share it, and follow. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.